Why are you struggling with high ticket dropshipping? In today's video, we'll be covering this topic, give you the 4 pillars in terms of why people normally are struggling with dropshipping or high ticket dropshipping specifically. And we're going to go over 4 of these pillars. And as long as you fix each of these pillars, there's no reason why you would not see sales with your high ticket dropshipping store. So with that being said, let's just jump right into the video. So first of all, the 4 pillars, I'm just going to highlight it right now. So the 4 pillars of a successful high ticket e-commerce store comes with your suppliers, your website, your sales process, and then your ads slash traffic, because you could be running organic. So those are the 4 pillars. And how do we know which of the 4 pillars that we may be doing wrong? So first of all, what can we be doing right when we're talking about suppliers? So suppliers are very, very important. They are essentially the backbone of our business. We want to have lots and lots of suppliers. The more we have, each supplier that we have is essentially a potential revenue stream. But we want to prioritize map brands over brands that have no map. And if you don't know what map brands mean, map stands for minimum advertised price. And essentially it just means if a manufacturer, aka the supplier, tells you that you can sell a product at $1,000, the wholesale is, let's say, $600, then that means you cannot sell under $1,000. Otherwise you'll be breaking the policy, and you will get removed as a dealer if you break it too many times. So map brands are high quality. They are the brands that you can actually scale with and do business with long term. So you want to get as many brands that actually enforce map as possible. So in terms of my store, one of my stores that I mainly operate myself, I have over 150 suppliers. And do you know how many actually I still run ads for? I would say about 15 to 30. And they are all map. There are a few non-map brands in this 15 to 30, but they are basically not spending much at all. They still make sales and profitably, but they are bidding very conservatively. It still spends a couple dollars every week or so, but it still makes me sales every single month. So out of the 150 and 15 to 30 I still advertise and make sales with, what is the percentage? That means that's 10 to 20% out of every single supplier that you close will be something that you sell consistently. Now, obviously, your percentage could be higher. This store is a little bit very more broad. It's still niche down, but there's just so many suppliers in this niche. So suppliers is number one. If you don't have enough map suppliers to actually find ones that you can scale and do business with long term, you need to get this map supplier brand like category of your website up. Yeah, at least 10 to 15 brands that actually have map, and they enforce it onto your website and actually in the ads account. That is step number one. Step number two is, or pillar number two is going to be your website. Now, I do believe this is important, but not tremendously important, because I see ugly sites that are still crushing it because of good suppliers. If they have good suppliers, then it's very hard not to do really well with them. So website, very, very important as well. Each of these pillars are important, but I would say suppliers is more important than your website. So in terms of website, what do you need to have? Trust. With high ticket products, especially AOV over $2,000, you need trust. What is the best way to invoke trust? Phone number, chat, and ways of communication with your website needs to be very visible everywhere on your website. Like anywhere they scroll on your website, you need to do a test on your website. Anywhere they scroll on the website, they need to be able to see some sort of way to contact you, speak of an expert of the store. So trust is very important. And with trust, you also want to include UGC, which means user generated content, as much as possible. These are reviews that you can get from your customers. So you need orders to have reviews, of course, but I had been running my store for the first year with 0 reviews, and I still made sales. So do not think you need UGCs to make sales, but they absolutely will make your store crush it in terms of social proof compared to stores that don't have it. So make sure you prioritize getting those reviews as early as possible. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes I made early on, is not really caring too much about the reviews. I made orders, but just never chase down the customers and get those reviews that I can leverage early on in my high ticket e-commerce journey. So website, trust, phone, live chat, UGC, and as much as possible. And then it's really just the layout of information. Like, I see some stores, for example, they're selling, let's say they have 5,000 SKUs of saunas. Now, on their website, it's just literally a collection with all the brands of saunas and just different types of saunas. But then in their types of saunas, they have like infrared, they have red light saunas, and they have all the types of saunas, different sizes, different combinations. They don't have any filters. So filters are also very important for customers to find what they're looking for. When they're on a page with 5,000 saunas and they're looking for a very specific one, they're not going to scroll through 5,000. Best believe they're going to leave the page right away if you don't make it easy for them to find what they're looking for. So website is very important in terms of how successful your website is, because the search, when you go on Amazon and type in the search bar, blah, 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 you are expecting something to show up. And you essentially want to treat your store the same way. Make the search bar very easily usable and optimize the search bar to appear like one of the best ways to improve your conversion rate is, just looking at your search and see all the searches that result into no people or nobody actually finding what they're looking for, and actually optimizing it and finding a product to place in that search result. So far we have suppliers and website. Also, I just want to mention that if you want my supplier acquisition strategy and how I close over 150, and probably way more at this point. Last time I checked, I have over 150 suppliers on the website. It's probably like 50 to 100 more that I've closed, but just haven't gotten time to upload them. So probably 250 suppliers closed already. If you want my supplier acquisition strategy, just comment supplier under this video, and I'll send you my supplier acquisition cheat sheet so you can follow exactly to close some suppliers on your own. So supplier's website. Next is going to be your sales process. This is something most people don't even really talk about, because the sales process, they assume like run the ads, have a good website, have a good supplier. But if you don't have a good sales process, you're not going to make sales, or you are going to make sales, but you're not going to maximize them. I would say for a store that AOV of $2,000, the amount of draft orders which draft orders are essentially invoices or orders that you send an invoice to a customer and they pay. The amount of draft orders for a store that the AOV is 2,000 should probably be at least 40%. So 60% of people do the add to cart checkout without contacting you. 60% will, and then 40%, that's just from my findings, 40% will contact you in some way before they actually buy. Either that's live chat, email, or phone, one of those ways to contact you before they actually buy. So if you don't have any sales process, no live chat, nothing, and you're not following up with the leads and prospects, then you are essentially saying if you were expected to make 100K in a month, you are essentially giving up 40K of that because you have no dialed in sales process. And the sales process doesn't have to be that complicated. Just have lead comes in, you do your follow up as until they give you a yes or no. Like, it doesn't have to be that complicated. And like comparing someone else buying from like a big store like Wayfair, they don't have any sort of sales process. Like, as soon as the lead comes in, they're gone. Like, if they don't want to buy, Wayfair does nothing to recover them. They do remarketing, but the sales process and actually contacting people and building that personal touch with the customers, that's exactly what makes your store stand apart from all the big box retailers like Home Depot, Wayfair, Lowe's. So sales process, very important. And then my favorite part, which is the traffic / ads. So obviously you can run SEO and you can also run paid ads, but the holy grail of paid ads would be Google Ads. The reason why Google Ads are so important is because it's intent-based traffic. You can target people that are looking for the suppliers, right? Suppliers that you have for sale. And starting out with Google Ads, it's very important to have shopping and search. Shopping and search are the best for cold traffic and branded traffic. Branded meaning like someone searching the supplier's name. So for example, if you sell Sunray saunas, the brand term would be Sunray. So make sure you have shopping and search targeting the branded terms because they're very bottom of funnel and those are the most likely to convert for you. Eventually, you will need to go up the funnel and target stuff like infrared sauna or like two-person sauna and things like that that are not branded. But in the beginning of your journey, if you're not doing at least 100K a month, then you really do not even need to worry about like spending in the high funnel campaign, like we like to call it. So having Google Ads dialed in, refining your search terms. So your search terms are very very important. Like you want to be super OCD about your search terms and actually refining them down to exactly what products you sell, because if you don't, then you're gonna be outcompeted by someone else that does refine their search terms super granular and everything that they show up for is exactly what they sell. That's how you get a high quality score and be able to get cheaper clicks and outcompete your competitors. Is you're optimizing your search terms. Do that as often as possible. Even if it has one impression in the beginning, you should be just going crazy and just hyper optimizing the search terms as fast as possible and doing it as often as possible so you get in the reps and understand exactly what you're doing. So Google Ads, search and shopping campaigns. Besides that, you also want to have Bing going on, Facebook remarketing later down the line once you're doing like 20 to 50K a month revenue. And then you can add other channels like YouTube. I know you probably can't see it but because my webcam's blocking the way. But Bing, Facebook, YouTube, all those channels are very important as remarketing and cold traffic. Bing is the cold traffic. Facebook and YouTube are mainly used for remarketing, but later down the line, you can even create content around your products. So that's it. Suppliers, website, sales process, ads/traffic. We can even put SEO here. Like as soon as you find a brand, a product type that does well for you, immediately go into SEO because that's how you take more traffic, more market share of what's exactly working for your store instead of second guessing what's not. So these are 4 pillars of a successful high-tech e-commerce store. And if you don't have a store where you want it to be currently in terms of revenue and profit, then you are fundamentally missing one of these factors inside your business. Either suppliers, either website, either sales process, either ads or traffic. You need to troubleshoot one of these and fix exactly what's wrong. And inside the high-tech e-com launchpad, me and my business partner do exactly that. We give you a clear roadmap of what's exactly wrong with your high-tech e-commerce business, and we help you fix it, troubleshoot it, and give you a clear roadmap of what the next steps are, along with one-on-one calls with our successful coaches that built stores to over $50,000 to $100,000 in revenue. So that's it for this video. If you want to work with myself and my business partner and our successful coaches one-on-one, there's a link down below in the description of this video to apply. And as always, hope you guys took away value, and I'll see you guys in the next one.